Hey everyone, this is Never Easy, and this is Ali.
And this is Chioma. Make sure you subscribe and like this video and hit the notification bell so you get notifications for all of our videos. So today we're going to be talking about, fall, October, Halloween, what fall means to us, and just, this change in weather and how we're dealing with it.
Or not changing weather.
Exactly. To start it off, it got really cold. Like, really cold for me. I was, freezing. It was windy. It was crazy. And then all of a sudden, it decided to jump back into hot weather where it's, almost 90 degrees, no wind or anything. So, is it really fall right now? I don't know. But I did
Tune in next week and you'll find out.
Right? I saw some, leaves on the ground underneath some trees. And I was like, oh, it really is. But it's hot right now. Could have fooled me. So, Allie, around this time of year, what does this year signal? Not year. What does this time of year signal for you?
Well, the holidays, of course.
What holidays?
Well, Halloween, of course, for October. And then obviously Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't know. What about you?
That's actually, when you just said that, I was like, wow, they're all really back to back. Like, October, November, December.
Yeah.
We have three, really cool holidays.
And New Year's.
And New Year's! Oh, no wonder this is people's favorite time of the year.
Or worst time of the year.
True. It's expensive this time of the year. But for me, this signals cold weather, which is my nemesis. I hate it dearly. Summer weather is everything to me, and I'm mad. Nope. I'm mad that we are now in this season.
I like the cold because then you can get warm, where if you're hot, there's no real... You can't really help that.
That is just a lie. I don't know why people put that lie out there into the atmosphere. There's, being hot is nice.
That being said, I like California cold. I don't like back east cold. So
oh, yeah.
I'll clarify that.
But will we really have a real Christmas if we don't have a snowman in the snow?
Yes,
is it
we'll
real?
We'll have a California Christmas, and I'm okay with that.
But yeah, so it's colder now, but it is nice, boots weather. But I just don't like wrapping up. I don't like having to protect myself from the cold. That's why I like summer, because I get to just exist and not have to cover up. But I like the decorations. I'm already seeing Halloween decorations.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Yeah, and we'll tell you guys right now how it was growing up for us around October, Halloween time. So I'll start. So I'm a Christian, grew up a Christian, and so every Halloween we would go to church. And they would give us candy, to make us feel better. But I always thought, if we're not supposed to be celebrating Halloween, then why are you giving us candy?
Yeah.
And a lot of Christians do celebrate Halloween. It was just my specific church that didn't celebrate it. They would actually show us videos, talking about the history behind Halloween, how it's pagan, whatever, all that stuff like that. And so we'd be at church. And so that was my norm while everyone else is trick-or-treating and stuff like that. And then at school, we're doing little Halloween stuff. So I never went trick-or-treating ever. Never.
Wow, really?
Never.
What?
And it probably never will.
Oh my goodness.
And never dressed up growing up.
Oh, all these things just flash back to my memory. So.
Always thinking, wow, what a sad childhood.
No, I have similar, but then all these things are popping in, so I'll let you finish and then I'll go.
I know. I think I've been at events where maybe face paints and little stuff like that.
Yeah.
For fall and stuff like that. But never trick-or-treating, never dressed up as a kid. My mom did not play that stuff. And it's interesting because my dad, I think we went to some Halloween, related, events.
Yeah.
With him. But I never really dressed up or anything like that. So Halloween was just okay. Growing up, it was who cares?
Yeah.
For me. How about you?
A few things come up. So I do remember at some point in my life going to a church for Halloween, but we still celebrated it, but it just, wasn't gory and all that, right?
Yeah.
It was just kind of, we went to the church because it was safe and because that's where all the kids could go. And our church, the one that we went to at the time, was really big. And so it was a whole, almost a fall event. There was pumpkins, there was jumpies, it was a whole almost festival.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. But that wasn't very often. But I remember I dressed up every year. I think my first costume my grandma made or someone made me. So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, family that's listening. Because I know I miss up some. But I think I was a rabbit, but my costume was too big. So it looked super. Because I was born in September, so then October was right around the corner. So they just. But yeah, I think I was every princess you could think of from Disney.
Aww.
My favorite costume, I think, I don't really remember it, but I have tons of pictures on it. And of course it was Toy Story. And I was Jessie. But I also was Bullseye. So, like, I was riding Bullseye. Like, that was part of the costume. So, like, the bottom, or his back legs were my legs. And then I was, like, sitting, like, I was on top of the horse. And then I had I could hold the reins. And then, like, the things on the bottom would just kind of dangle. So, it was kind of cool. My grandma probably still has that costume. So, it was probably one of my favorites. And then I do remember one year, I don't know if you guys have heard of Wicked, but the play before...
oh yeah, I've seen Wicked. Yeah,
such an amazing show. Also,
defying gravity.
No, don't do that, because then we're gonna get Anyways, we don't want to get sued over YouTube. But anyways,
a copyright strike. I doubt.
So then I remember one year my stepmom, she worked so hard because I wanted to be Alphaba. Mm-hmm. And so she did all the green makeup.
Oh my
gosh. Did the
your
red
arms
lipstick.
Too?
I think so. I think so.
But is Alphaba wearing... isn't she wearing long sleeve? Maybe you're just your hands.
Yeah, maybe it was just my hand. I don't know. But I remember her, like, she worked so hard in it, and it looked really cool. So I appreciate, obviously, you doing that, and it was really awesome, and that memory and stuff. And then we went trick-or-treating, and I was with my cousins. And then I do remember, too, once my mom... What was it? My mom, when we lived at my great-grandparents' house, because my uncle lived right around the corner, and so we would always, like, walk to his house because that was something to do, and that was also a lot of fun because he'd always save me, like, a big candy bar. Aww. So that was, like, we always want to go to his house. So shout out Uncle T. I know you're listening. I hope so anyways. But yeah, those are some of the memories that I thought of. Oh, and then, sorry to kind of continue, but I also remember in elementary school, we would have parades. And so, like...
At your school?
Yeah, it was either in the morning, probably in the morning, actually. And we would have little parades, and, like, all of the classes would come up and be in their costumes and stuff, and we would walk around, and so, like, all the parents, and then, like, teachers and stuff would like, watch us and stuff. So it was kind of cool. I think there must have been maybe a competition, too, for best costume. But I think that was kind of fun.
That's crazy when you look at my experience growing up with Halloween and yours. Like, yours is like, you're like actively doing stuff, and mine is like, we don't celebrate Halloween. And it's funny because for the longest time I used to be like, I don't celebrate Halloween for my own choices. Like, I was an adult and I was like, I don't like it. But now, because we talked about, when we were young, this is college time. Mm-hmm. Now I was like, oh, maybe I can get into this. And my mom, she's like, what? You dressed up for Halloween? Because last year I was a Hufflepuff, and I was the best Hufflepuff that day. I was casting spells on everybody and everything. It was wonderful. Gosh, and my mom was like, you were dressed up for Halloween. I said, Mom, hey, it was fun.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me too, one thing that I did with my family, like, every September, October, was going to haunted houses. Yes. Or haunted hay rides and, like, all that stuff. Like, that was a tradition. Like, it didn't matter. I think the first time I went, it was so bad. I was like 12, I think, and my mom doesn't do that. Like, she doesn't like being scared. So, like, she would never have taken me there, right? So my stepmom and we went with all of her family, my family, and we went into, like, one of those, I think it was like Freddy Krueger buses, I think is what it was supposed to be. And so, and there was actors, and there's also dummies in the seats of the school bus, so you don't know who is real and who isn't. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there, and I literally buried my head in my stepmom's, like, basically cleavage. Like, I mean, she had a shirt on, but, like, I was just head first, and the actors were laughing at me because I was so scared.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That reminds me of going on hay rides and stuff and getting pumpkins. Because even though I didn't celebrate Halloween, we still did these little things, like, with school or whatever. And I remember the school, when I was in elementary school, this one school, they would always have us go to a pumpkin patch and get a pumpkin.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool, but one time.
Uh-oh.
Because we lived in these apartments that were right next to the school, so here's the gate.
Yeah.
And you cross this gate into the apartments right there.
Oh, okay,
and it was like a charter school.
Yeah.
So we had our uniforms and everything. And I was holding my pumpkin over my, like, shoulder, and I dropped it. That thing broke open.
Oh no!
I was so sad. I said, and my house was literally, I could have jogged to my house because you cross the gate in the apartment
and it was
and
right
you go.
There.
And I was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "I dropped my pumpkin." I was so mad. I don't think I ever carved a pumpkin. Like, I think we would just take it home and then it would just eventually rot.
You never did carving?
No, because my mom was not about that stuff.
Oh.
You were not about to bring Halloween to her house.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
You could bring the pumpkin
We
in.
had, like, pumpkin carving competitions, like, with our whole family. Like, usually it was at our house because everyone would come to our house for everything. But we would have competitions, like,
Aww.
from all of our, like, all the aunties got involved, all the cousins got involved. Didn't matter how old you were because it was just whoever the best pumpkin was. So, like, they didn't play any games. So that was always fun because, like, it was just, like, a time to sit down and, like, bond with your family members and just kind of relax and stuff and not have to think about anything else and just literally thinking about how you're going to carve your pumpkin, which is so silly, but it's like those memories are always in my head. And we also did like gingerbread houses too, like in Christmas time. So
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And you know, now that I'm older and now I'm not so opposed to Halloween, like I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to wear as a costume this year. I have so many different options. I don't know what to do.
I don't even know if I'm going to dress up. I probably am not going to.
You're
honestly.
Old. You know, Allie's an old woman.
I didn't dress up last year.
Come on. Well, the reason why I dressed up is because my fraternity had a Christmas party. And they always have a Christmas party. Or, no, not Christmas. What am I talking about? A Halloween party. And basically people will dress up, and I don't really know if there's a costume contest that we have, but you know, there's candy, there's food, and so that's why I was a Hufflepuff last year, and it was really fun. And I was working in the mailroom, and people were coming in, getting their mail, and I was dressed up, and people were like, oh my gosh, you look great, or I'm Hufflepuff too. That's cute. It was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, the first couple years of college, I definitely dressed up every year because, like, why not? I think the freshman year, I was Jessie from Toy Story again, yes. And then the next year, I think, because so in college, there's a lot of parties, especially around Halloween time.
Yeah.
So I actually went out 3 different times in 3 different costumes that we made up. Like, I don't even think I bought a costume. Like, every costume I made up. Like, one time I was a baseball player. One time, I think we were like, gosh, what was I? Oh no, I was a ladybug, I think. And then there was another time, I forget what the last costume was, but it was all like on the spot pretty much. I think the bumblebee or the ladybug costume I got from someone, but everything else was like pretty much just made. And like 3 of my friends, we all did it. It was 3 of us that went to each party and each like festival.
That is so funny, and it's so cute, and it's crazy when you think of Halloween costumes. Like for women, there's like there's the sexy ones, and then there's like the cool, like the fun ones.
Yeah.
And depending on what party you're going, will depend on whatever you're wearing. And I want to have like a fun costume. Like I'm not trying to be the cutest out that night for Halloween. I want to be like scary, you know. And I know some people are like, oh, don't be scary. I'm like, that's fun. What's the point?
Which I'll mention too, like, even though my family celebrated Halloween, I always had to make sure, like, whatever costume I was, like, approved. And, because my mom obviously didn't want me to, you know, be showing everything up. I mean, granted, I was young, so obviously you don't want that. But even, like, certain characters, I could only be certain characters because it had to be, like, something positive and something, like, so I couldn't necessarily be, like, a villain or things like that, so, and it may have, like, I mean, looking back on it now, maybe my mom didn't care as much, but that was just, like, that's what I remember of, like.
You couldn't be gory?
Yeah,
and
I guess that's the word, yeah.
Oh, it had to be, like, fun Halloween.
Yeah.
It's interesting with Halloween and the costumes that you see. There are, like, the gory, scary with zombies, and then there's profession costumes, like a police officer or a nurse.
Yeah, but good luck finding one for a woman that's not provocative.
I've actually I was at the Spirit Halloween store.
Probably recently, though.
Yeah. Well, I was at the store the other day, and I saw where it's, like a full shirt, pants, and it has a hat. And it's, like, cute, but it's, like, appropriate. And then I saw the more sexier versions of that same costume.
I think I had, like, a project or something, like, for a class, because obviously sociology, you're going to look at genders and all that.
Yeah.
And we had to find an appropriate women's costume. Like, so we would have to look at a police officer costume for a male, and then look at a police officer costume for a female. And, like, we couldn't find one that was... I honestly could not find one that was actually, like, not showing everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously even in kids, Like, if you know, a little girl wants to be a police officer, it's usually a skirt.
Yeah.
You know?
See,
like,
and
so,
at the store, I saw the pants, and then I saw the skirt version of both.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we're moving into new directions.
With costumes and the variety. But yeah, so like I was saying, there's the gore, there's the profession ones. And so Halloween, for some people, they want to be scary, and then some people, they just want to dress up like something else or somebody else. So it's really cool. And it's scary because you don't know who's walking around. I saw a guy the other night on a bike wearing a purge mask, one of the ones that light up, and I got scared. I was like, oh, heck no. And it was dark. It was pitch black. I was walking down the street, and this guy is riding by with this light up mask from the purge. I'm like, oh my goodness. And remember, like, a couple years back when there was the clowns?
Oh god, that was horrible. No, I don't want to remember that. But what was? Then we just found out that there is, I guess. So we're not just talking about women and
a Mr. Rogers costume that's sexy.
Yes. So, but I'm sure that's one in like not very many. Just
well, it's funny because people get creative and they're like, let's come up with a Mr. Rogers costume that's a little provocative, a little fun.
And also like, why Mr. Rogers? But
because people are so interesting. And
I guess do what you do. I don't know. Oh like God. I just thought that was kind of a random person to do it with. But
so what do you think you're doing this Halloween? You might not dress up, but are you gonna go to an event? Are you gonna go out with friends?
So we actually are just trying to figure that out. My boyfriend, he just texted me like last week saying, "Hey, what are we doing for Halloween?" I'm like, "That's a great question." But we were talking about maybe going out like that weekend or something like with friends, and then I'm thinking about maybe just handing out candy if there are kids in our area that trick or treat around here, and then I also what was I gonna say? Thinking about maybe just going to a pumpkin patch.
I want to go to a pumpkin patch. I was gonna look up where the nearest pumpkin patch was literally today. But I want to like decorate my house.
Oh yeah, I've done that too.
The outside because where I live, and I'm not telling the listeners where I live, but where I live, it's like perfect because I have trees in front of it. I have like a yard, and I can like put scary stuff. And I saw this thing at the Halloween store, and it's like a woman on a swing, and I have 2 trees right in front of my house. That would be so perfect.
That's so creepy.
Yeah, and I there's also a gate so it'll prevent people from messing around with the stuff. But it would be cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, like someone swinging there, all scary.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone to Target and bought pumpkins. Like decorative pumpkins. Cause I need to get at least one I mean, pumpkin. Look, I have them on right there. I've got them on my dining room table. Like, there's so many.
Remember they were, oh yeah, your pumpkins are cute. And some are real or are they all fake?
No, they're all fake. Well, but some of them are like plastic, like mini ones. And then some are like the velvet, or not velvet, like cotton, like felt.
Oh. Yeah. Remember the pumpkin patch at San Jose State?
Oh, yeah. That was also so much fun. That was fun.
And now we can't even go because we're not students and we don't live on campus.
So?
But they would always have a pumpkin patch outside really in the dorm quad, the CV quad. And we would go down there. And I have a picture of you and I holding our pumpkins with our friend Izzy.
And then last year I decorated, I painted. They had it where you could like paint your pumpkin. So that was kind of cool.
Did I go to that? I don't know. I don't know what I was doing.
But I think that's something cool now that I have my own apartment with my partner and stuff, that I can like decorate it the way I want. Yeah. I think that's something that is new for me this year and exciting. Because obviously you have your apartment with like your roommates and stuff, which, when I had an apartment with Milligan, obviously we both love the season and we love decorating. So that was really cool to be able to decorate with her, but like now I can like do my own style too. Which I think is cool.
One thing I did when I had my studio, I had this like zombie caution tape, and so I would put it on my door. And I would drape it around the door, tape it so that my door, when you walk by, it's like the caution tape. Yeah. And that was me like, okay, Halloween, here you go. Like, that was all. And, because people could only see the outside of my door. And that's what I would do. And I don't know where that stuff is. Either I got rid of it or maybe I still have it. I want to do something.
That's like one of those things when you move, you're like, where did that go? Do I have that? Yeah, right? I still do that even. And I've been living here for 8 months. But
I'm pretty sure the kids in my neighborhood are going to trick or treat. And so maybe we'll like have something for them.
I feel like here too, because like I've seen quite a few kids that live here. But I mean, who knows? Maybe they go to like other places too. But I also am thinking about, I really want to do pumpkin carving or like have like a contest with like friends,
Mm-hmm.
but we gotta find whose house we can go to. So if someone wants to volunteer their house,
Yes,
let's do it. Cause I only have like a little patio, and so sorry, but I don't want to clean up all the all the gunk and stuff, and like that stuff gets gross, like the gunk from the like the pumpkin.
Yeah,
I don't know. So, but I think it'd be fun just to do in general, or maybe we could do one that because I've seen the ones that are like cardboard too. Then there's no mess, and it's like you're literally just doing that. But the fun.
Well, at my house, like outside, like out the door.
Yeah.
There's all this space.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The cars drive past, but we don't have cars driving into the driveway.
Oh yeah.
24/7.
Yeah, maybe that would be a good place. But I think that would be fun. Like everyone can just kind of come together and just kind of like I did with my family and just make new traditions with my friends.
Yeah, because I've never carved a pumpkin before. Oh, and here's a question: do you all like pumpkin pie?
Ooh.
I prefer sweet potato pie, and that might be more of a Thanksgiving question, but hey, it's the season.
I have never had sweet potato pie.
I think sweet potato pie is so good.
And everyone rants and raves about it. But the other thing is, I've tried sweet potatoes every year, or all that. Mm-hmm. And every year, I just don't care for it.
Well, sweet potatoes and yams are different. They're
I don't know. Whichever one. Maybe it's yams.
They look the same, but
maybe it was
yams
that I always had. Because I just remember one person would have it, and then they have like the marshmallows on top.
I love it.
Yeah. But I did recently try some sweet potatoes in a bowl or something, and I didn't mind them, so maybe I'd be more open to trying it.
Because the pie is so delectable.
They do say your taste buds change every 3 years.
Really? Mm-hmm. What in the world?
So sometimes when you don't think you like something and it's been a while, maybe you try it again. Because that's what I've been trying to do. Because I'm always like, I don't like that. And then,
you know what's funny? I used to not really like pumpkin pie that much, but now I'm like opening up to it. And so maybe my taste buds did change. But sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie look the same. They look exactly the same. So you could put it in front of someone like, this is pumpkin pie. They'll know once they eat it.
Oh, yeah.
They look exactly the same, which is hilarious.
Oh, my goodness.
But that just made me think about that when you think about pumpkins. Because, around this...
Ooh, pumpkin bread.
Ooh. Oh, we can't have that.
We're
on the keto diet.
I know,
almost
we can't
forgot.
have that. But I got it for my boyfriend because at Costco, they have really good... They're, like, individual packed, they're like little loaves of bread, basically, but, like, individual servings. Mm-hmm. And they're organic pumpkin bread, things, and they are the best. Like,
we could make it, couldn't we? Like with almond flour.
Maybe it won't be keto. It probably won't be as good as we'd like, but we can give it a shot.
We got this artificial sugar that we have that's keto friendly.
Look, I want to be able to enjoy my Thanksgiving meal.
See, this is my dilemma, everyone.
Yeah,
this is my dilemma.
That's another thing.
I'm on keto. Allie's on keto. We're doing good. But it's holiday season coming up. And the question is, are we going to stick to keto during holiday season or are we going to give it up? Because I know that food is going to be good, but I know it's going to throw me off and mess me up. Yeah. And I'm going to eat a lot of it.
Or maybe we could just prepare ourselves. Know that on that Thanksgiving day or on Christmas, we're going to indulge.
Yes. It might knock us out of ketosis though, definitely.
But that's a risk I'm willing to take. I really am.
Cause honestly, this is a sidetrack from that, but I've been wondering how to stick to it when it comes to holidays and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that is the question.
Although this time I may be doing a Friendsgiving possibly. Mm-hmm. I haven't actually decided. But then I'd be making my own food.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't really be that big of an issue. Because, when you're at your family's house, obviously,
yeah,
everything is there that you can ever want.
Yeah.
So then it's a little bit harder. But, if you're doing it yourself, then you get to control what's there.
Yeah. And what's interesting, Halloween doesn't have, a special dinner. Thanksgiving, Christmas, people eat at Christmas, but no one eats at Halloween. Everyone eats candy, and that's, that's the thing. Are you going to be indulging in candy? I probably won't. Because I'm trying to stick to keto and prepare myself for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I will really, really try not to. Well, maybe then that gives me an idea. Maybe I shouldn't hand out candy.
Because you're going to be eating it.
Because then I want to eat it.
Or hand out candy that you don't like.
That's not possible. I love all candies pretty much. But anyways.
Oh, and also, wasn't there a thing where people of certain ages couldn't trick-or-treat anymore?
Oh, yeah. But then they have, I think they call them... they bring around blue buckets. Mm-hmm. So it's kids who have special needs that, they may look bigger, but they really have the mindset of you know, a younger person. And so that's kind of like their way of signaling, like, if people are older, to still give candy to them, because you just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, and
oh wow, I didn't even know that. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think it's like autism awareness, or like just probably just special needs in general. It's the blue pumpkins. Yeah. So that's something new I think they've implemented in the last like few years. But I think it's really important because it reminds me of when I would go trick or treating, and I remember even like some of my family members, and even myself included, we would always say, "Oh my God, they're too old to be trick or treating," and this and that. Yeah. Now, mind you, they may have been. Like, there may have been people that just kind of did it because they could, or they're older teenagers, things like that. So that's fine. But now that I look back on it, it's like, well, maybe they weren't. Maybe they were kids with special needs or something like that, and they just were going trick-or-treating because that's what someone they would do at the age that they think they are.
And then
you know
some
what
people, I mean? And then some people are tall. My little sister's 13. She's taller than me. I'm a 22-year-old woman. Yeah. Who's 5'7". Yeah. She's taller than that. Mm-hmm. She looks like a grown person, you know?
So just, I guess with that, just, like, have grace with people when they come trick-or-treating. And just, also, another thing, when I went to an event for work, we were giving out candy, because, like, we just had a booth and stuff. But it was to target the population that it has autism and stuff like that. And so sometimes kids have behavior issues, and so when they see a bowl of candy, they're going to try and grab the whole thing. Yeah. Which is, it happens. So I guess maybe be mindful, like, if you're handing out candy, just try and keep it, like, to yourself, and then just hand it out.
Yeah, and not have bowls out.
And not have bowls out, because it's hard for parents to probably handle them as it is, going trick-or-treating, and then on top of that, having to, like, stop their behavior from, you know, impulse and just trying to.
Yeah, and that can be everything. Just kids in general that might not have special needs.
That's true.
Kids just want to take. So when you're handing out candy, figure out ways you want to do it. Sometimes you can make pre-made candy bags. Yeah, and you give them those, so then they already have candy, so they're not sticking their hand in like a bowl or anything like that. And everyone, be careful with your houses on Halloween. Oh yeah, because there will be a lot of people out wearing masks, unidentifiable, and now us older people can't trick or treat anymore. I guess. It's not appropriate anymore.
Well, and also just make sure whatever candy you get, and it's not from your house, check it. I mean, I remember my mom would always do that every night. Yeah. Like, when I would get the candy, she would check every single candy to make sure it wasn't something weird or... Yeah. And even if she wasn't sure, she'd throw it away.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I saw a thing when someone says, people really think people out here are wasting their good candy to put stuff in it, but you never know. People are weird, you know? People could try to be putting stuff in the candy. Just be careful. Make sure you're looking at your kids' candy. And I'm not a parent, but don't let your kids have too much of it. Their teeth. Okay, I'm not trying to judge. Or just anybody. Just be careful. Like, have some in moderation. Like, spread it out. Don't eat all your candy in one night. But, you know.
It's not worth the tummy ache.
It's really not. Get some Gushers. People, pass out Gushers, please. I don't know if people do that. Gushers are so good.
Or fruit snack. Oh, yeah, maybe we could promote healthy snacks, too, which I know is not
Pass out grapes and strawberries.
Not like those. Like something like apple chips or like banana chips. Like those type of things.
Kids would be so angry.
They would.
Saw some apple chips and they said, oh, look at my candy. Oh, some apple chips.
It's some balance, right? You got 3 pieces of candy, then you got some apple chips.
True. Question. Yeah. Do you like candy corn?
I do.
I do, too.
Okay,
Thank goodness, because people really talk smack about candy corn.
And then I would do, even though they don't taste any different, I would eat it, like, by the section.
Yeah. For me, they're good, and I can understand why people think they don't taste good or they're weird, but for me, candy corn is just so good.
And that was something my grandma would always put out, like, every October or Halloween stuff, she'd always put those out. So maybe that's probably the reason why I like them. But
people are like... Oh my goodness. I will not stand for the candy corn slander.
I don't know why they hate them so much. Like, they're not that...
I mean, when you think about the taste of them, I can understand, okay, why... Like, it's a hit or miss with candy corn. So I can understand when people taste it like,
I guess.
Ew, but I like it.
See, like, I used to feel... I guess... I don't... Do you like Peeps?
Oh, I do like Peeps. Peeps are also a hit or miss.
I don't like them. I used to like them because I couldn't have them because I have braces. So, like, they're too mushy and all
I can have one Peep. Second Peep, I want to spit it out.
But then, now, if I try it again, I don't think I'd like it.
They're like candy corn. They're hit or miss. Like, literally, they're those things that either you like them or you think they're absolutely disgusting. Mm-hmm. And I can have one. If I have another one, it's nasty to me. And they have a weird consistency and texture.
I want candy corn now. I'm also just hungry. But, you know.
Well, hold off on the candy corn, but you will be able to eat soon because we are ending this episode. And we just want to thank you all for listening and, tell us about your Halloween traditions or your October traditions or just your fall traditions. Mm-hmm. Leave questions, leave comments about this time of year, what it means to you. Do you like the transition into cold weather or do you hate it like me?
I think it's amazing.
I hate it, but we all have differences of opinion. Mm-hmm. Thank you all for listening.
See you next time.